It will come as no surprise to friends of the channel that I, Owen Fitzgerald, I like big amps. I like big I like big amps for dads. I like I'm a dad and I like some big amps. So old Laney, Trainer YB, I forget, but it's the custom special and that's cool. Big old I like big amps. Look at that big Super 6. Look at this big amp. Look at all those big amps. That's the biggest amp. And I love and have loved many silver faced Fender amps, large and small. And I have recently gotten a new to me silver faced Fender big amp. And I'm here to show it to you. This one is sort of for sale. I bought it for the cabinet. Because you see here on top of this Fender Super 6, you have a Fender Bandmaster Reverb TFL5005D. 1968. The Bandmaster is a 40-watt amp, 2 6L6s. And for a long time, I just thought that the Bandmaster Reverb was a super reverb in a head box, but I have learned that that's wrong. The reason why I thought that is because the Super 6 Reverb is a Fender Twin in a 6x10, and the Dual Showman Reverb is a Fender Twin in a head box. So I was like, well, the same thing must be happening. They are just putting the same engine in a different size box. But no, the Bandmaster Reverb has, according to my on-the-spot recollection from forums posts that I don't know how to confirm, there are a couple of important differences, and those differences are the size of the transformer, which is small, and the fact that it is has a tube rectifier, and so it is going to be squishier, a little bit softer, and have a different feel than that of a Super, who, grain of salt time, has a solid state rectifier and has a transformer the size of a basement, I'm pretty sure. A larger size transformer than on the Bandmaster, and it came with a big old 2x12 cabinet, and that was sort of like what I was after. And when I bought it, I was like, "Ooh, look at." I see this size cabinet. I see like 1968, 1969 drip edge. I'm thinking to myself, I see these all silver dust caps, no black center. I'm thinking to myself, JBLs, not JBLs, which is fine. But it was a speaker that I did not know about, which was aluminum dust capped Utahs, that just by appearances seem to be original to the cab. Although, and I know Utah was a long-running OEM manufacturer for Fender, but I don't, so I'm kind of like, it looks like it, and it's a Utah. That should be fine. And they might be trying to ape the visual aesthetic of JBLs. I think the thing that kind of like cuts against my theory that they would be original in the cab is that if JBLs were being offered as a like a premium upgrade in Fender products, why would Fender elect to give like the visual indicator, the aluminum dust cap, of that premium upgrade without you having to pay for it? And I really like the Bandmaster Reverb that I just showed you. I was definitely after the cabinet. And then I was like, well, I mean, I'll sell whichever one I don't really want. I was pleasantly surprised to find that I bought a Bandmaster Reverb that is like, I mean, there is not a solder joint that has been touched. It is more original than I anticipated. Original two-prong cord, original caps, original everything on the turret board, down to the original RCA tubes, preamp and power amp. The rectifier tube was a General Electric, and I don't know enough about rectifier tubes to know whether or not that would have been original to the amp, and if there was a reason why you would use General Electric instead of RCA like you are for everything else in that era. But I just wanted to show you this amp, and I also wanted to demonstrate for anybody who is looking at this head on Reverb that not only does it work, but in its like totally unserviced ever state, it works without any extraneous noise. It sounds beautiful, and that was also a nice surprise. But I'm gonna play a I probably should have figured this out before I walked away from the camera. But okay, Sarah. Okay, this is a guitar that eventually will definitely be getting its own video, because I'm so excited to have it. Y'all have seen perhaps this Freakazoid Telecaster, but you have not seen it since it has been taken to its final form. It used to have a Thunderbird pickup, but now it doesn't. Look, all right, I'm not even gonna give you the juice because I do want to do its own little video, and then like, hey, I'm done playing. Oh, that's fun. And then what could that be? I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. Elmer is the name of my son. And one reason why it if you see me in the middle position, they are wired out of phase right now in the pickups. switches off, the bass response of the cabinet itself is like very pronounced compared to something like a twin or a super that is an open back cabinet. Not only is this cabinet huge dimensionally, it also is insulated. And right now, you've got treble and noon, treble and middle, both are right at about 6, right? And is off, and the bass is really happy at 3. To like flub out or anything like it does on twins. It just gets a little almost like too spiky. Not spiky, sorry, too scoops, because the bass extension can just like reach higher than I'm used to. Reverb's super long, just like what the. That's with the reverb on 10. Chasing the splash is really fun. These amps sound great. Ran in stereo. And so another cool thing that I like, and now that really makes sense, is with you get earlier breakup because of the smaller transformer and because of, and kind of like an earlier squish. Because of the tube rectifiers. So right now, and there's no master volume because of the age. You weren't doing that in 67, 68, 69. So right now you're at like 3.5, and it's really still pretty clean everywhere. But even that's not really breaking up. You can just really feel like an immediate compression that's coming earlier, which is a lot of fun. So let's actually get some dirt and move from 3 to 6. Alright, we're at 9. lot higher. I want to crank the treble. Oh, it sounds so good. The original foot switch comes with the head. It's sitting in the back of that. I guess actually, I want to mention it. I've never really played around with the tremolo on this original foot switch without its bottom. Before I get that hooked up, let me show you the it's like playing with the compressor on. Like it's just it's so fun. And it's a little surreal to be standing next to an amp this huge and not have your dynamics like come out so even. Usually expect to like spike, you know, if you didn't have your dynamics like well dialed in. Alright, can't. Oh yeah, duh. Everybody see that? Woo! why does it still sound so good? It's okay, that's it for me. So clearly, many things. One, beat benders are fun, but just because it's fun doesn't mean that you know how to use them all that well. And two, why is it surprising that this amp still works so great? Well, it's because it still has the original electrolytic caps in it, and usually an amp of this age, or not, I mean, at least often, would have had those caps replaced because they would have started to leak, bulge, and get super fucking noisy. And that hasn't happened yet. It for sure will, probably. And that, in the addition of this charming two-prong cord, means that technically, according to the safety standards of today, this guy should see a service if it is going to see sustained live use. This shot is not doing anything all that helpful for anybody. And usually when I get an amp, I'm thrilled to provide it the service that it needs to really work for the long haul. But this is one of the rare occasions where it just is kind of too complete and too original for me to feel great about doing that. And the other Bandmaster reverb that you see that I showed you earlier has already been serviced. It's been mucked about with. It's been modded, and I can kind of use it without thinking twice about it. So this one's great for somebody who gives a shit about silver face originality or silver panel originality, and it also sounds amazing as is, so it doesn't need anything to get going. But if you want to tour it, you definitely need to. If you want to tour it with a pedal board, you for sure need to get it serviced. The two-prong cord is not really all that much of a big safety concern if you are just playing it by itself. If you're just playing the amp, not a big deal. The two prongs can get a little sketchy when you are playing the amp and singing through a microphone and playing through a pedal board and using the amp in a way that is like pretty standard and normal for like modern day amps. But it needs nothing right this second, and unless you want to give it to it. And they're just, it's just so huge and beautiful. If you live in the Southeast, if you live especially in North Carolina, and you're interested in buying both, although I bought this together because I really wanted to keep the cabinet to go with that head, it is just so pleasant and complete, and they've never been apart, that if you want it, we can work out something where you take both and I'll just buy a different solo cab, just so we don't have to break up the children. And what else? You know what? Today's your day to buy a scratch off lottery ticket, because you're gonna hit. It's about time.